Ready? Ready for a spin?
I'm ready.
I don't even know what Minipod. We put the number on our podcast, but does it really matter? It's about the topic, right?
Yeah, it is.
Go. Spinner. I like that it's mirrored. You guys can actually see the number.
Yeah, that's good.
If I actually hit the spinner. Here it comes. What topic?
38.
38, everyone.
38 is Powerizing Love.
Powerizing love.
Powerizing Love. You can take that in a couple directions.
Well, people, you can totally tell we don't pre-plan this because that one's throwing me for a loop. Powerizing love. That could be a power struggle of powerizing, or that could be adding power to love.
I know, because like my mind went immediately to like enhancing, right? Empowering love, but it could go the other way too, right?
Be powerizing, yeah. So you use love as a power struggle.
Yeah.
And then is it really love?
Well, it's more just a matter of control, perhaps.
Mm-hmm. What do you think? Where do you want to take it, baby? The definition of powerizing. That's not a word I ever use. Powerizing. Do you?
No, I can't say I do.
Let's say, and we're both writers. I can say that I've never in my writing said powerizing.
Yeah. I wonder if it's meant to be in a positive way, but is positive juicy? No, it ain't. We could do both. We could touch on both.
If we were talking about being powerized, let's go with the dictionary definition: as a person with more power or authority than the other to utter taunting words, to deride. But then if someone says powerize your health, they're saying get it better.
Right.
What do you want to do? You want to take it negative or you want to take it positive?
Well, maybe we could lightly even touch on both in a few minutes here, but
okay, let's go. You pick which one you want to start with.
Well, we can start with the negative and finish on a positive. I think the negative, like what your definition was there, that is reminiscent of a power control struggle, right? And so
absolutely,
like you said, is that love at that point? I don't know. I guess each individual story might have its own imprints, like its own blueprint. I mean, and so that's kind of hard to speak on. But I mean, if it's a control or a power issue, I would say that's something else going on there.
Yeah, it's a power and control struggle, right? That probably goes way back to, I hate, you know how much we love talking about trauma, but probably goes way back. And maybe if you haven't dealt with your shit, it's not for me to say that you didn't love that person, but if you're powerizing your love and you're going into that power and control cycle, there's no way for anyone to love you back because fear becomes involved, right?
So here's the thing, like I'm talking about my astrology stuff, and the way that I'm approaching each sign is, like you take certain signs and they get a bad rep for certain qualities of themselves. Well, there's certain signs, one in particular, we're not going to mention who, but there's certain ones that would probably, maybe a couple actually, that would be considered people who are in a power struggle in a relationship. They would get into a relationship for a power struggle. And so my thing is, it's like, well, are they supposed to be any other way, right? Because if that's part of if like the acquisition of power is part of their, signature, then is there a way that could be expressed as love if you find the right partner?
Right. So then can you powerize love and then add like a BDSM element?
Yeah.
And then make it healthy. Could you
make it healthy?
Mm-hmm. Could you do that? So could be what if it's the woman that's got that sign but she doesn't want to take away his masculinity.
That's
and
right.
he's masculine in the relationship. But what if in the BDSM way, she's the dom?
Exactly. Then you make it
And she gets to powerize love.
That's right. With a safe word.
With a safe word.
But it's like, let's focus on this. Maybe we won't even touch on the other aspect, but I think like I think there's a lot of people in the feminism movement who think that a man powerizing love in this negative way is a negative, right? And is a problem. But what if you're a woman who is attracted to somebody who wants to be in control and take the fucking reins and be a little bit more of that power, inserting that power structure? So it's like, are you telling me that I'm in the wrong for liking that? Or not me, but whoever. Yep. If somebody likes that, right?
You're in the wrong.
Okay, that was a good podcast. Yeah.
And it's just not the way we do it now in our evolved society, clearly, right?
That's right.
I am not saying it has to be that way, but to me, that's the same signs. And so I think if we talk about that, we instantly then get labeled into right wing or all these other fucking labels that drive me crazy. As opposed to this is just, what if we did that whole roadmap that we do for people? Let's plug the roadmap. We actually do that for people, right? So that you can see what all of your indications go towards, not just like with your signs, but everything about your personality and who you are. And even in your health walk, let's start to look at who you are. And what if you're attracted to that power? What if that is your thing?
Goddamn right.
We are all about, like, we're talking about relationships, but ultimately we're about infusing magic in relationships. And so the key is to not make people feel guilty all the time. If you're a fucking asshole and you're powerizing someone and you're beating them, well, then I think you need a beat down and go to jail. But that's not what we're talking about now. Right?
We're not talking about that craziness.
No, we're not talking crazy. We're talking in a relationship. We're talking about full disclosure. I am that type of woman. I like a strong, strong man. Do I want my rights as a woman taken away? Fucking of course not. That's not at all what I'm talking about. Do I think men and women are different? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think there can be very feminine men? Yes, but that's not what I'm attracted to. So I think there's this level of, I don't know, is that powerizing love? I don't mind a power dynamic within a relationship, but I don't feel like it takes my power away.
Exactly. I think that, and it comes back to topics you and I have discussed in the past, where it's like, you have to be aware of what makes you happy and what excites you and your own passion and what it is that you want. Because like we've talked about, if you listen to other people, you're going to be told that being attracted to somebody who likes to kind of take control or powerize in this way is not appropriate, right? And so you're going to base if you're a man and you're going to not want to be that way, right? Or vice versa. Like, it could go the other way too, right? Like men could be very attracted. I think a lot of men are very attracted to strong, controlling women, right? But that's becoming more acceptable, right? Whereas the other one's becoming less acceptable.
Absolutely. Look at that flip, right?
Yes. And so powerizing love.
What if you have both dynamics? What if your love power is like in your everyday life, it's totally different than in your private life?
That's right.
That's a powerizing ring. I don't know. I just think if you're happy and it feels healthy to you and you're walking through it, then fuck what anyone else thinks.
That's what I was going to say. And that's the point of it. If it's who you are to want to experiment the juiciness of that power experience, then you need to own that in a healthy way for you.
Yes, for you. And if you're in a relationship that's not possible, that might be when you start questioning it. not because anything's wrong, but I think a lot of people have never explored that because they stay in a relationship that doesn't allow them to explore that.
That's
So I'm not
right.
advocating for ending well, maybe I am sometimes, but I'm not advocating for that today. But if you can't have that discussion with your partner, well, first I'd say have that discussion. You might as well, because if it's going to
Yeah.
end anyways, and then see where that takes you, because I think we're also in a society that we don't even like the word power,
Mm-hmm.
which is interesting because we're completely, just think of the movies and shit we like to watch. It's all about power.
Yes.
So our fantasies are
Mm-hmm.
obviously involving that, and then we push it down, right? Or
That's
50
right.
Shades of Grey. Why the fuck was that? So that's I won't even get into how it was written, but that why did that become so popular? There's something in there, without just saying all women are fucked in the head and want to be controlled. That's not what it's about. There's something in there that shows a dynamic that people are craving. So I think they need to look at that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what, that brings one of the things that you said there brings up an interesting point too, because you could be meeting somebody, if you're in a relationship, you could have attracted that person while you were in a different kind of energy. So you could have attracted somebody who, you know, maybe was what you needed at the time, who is not showing those, who, and you yourself are growing, right? So it's like you yourself are learning more about yourself and growing and knowing that, you know, maybe it is okay to show a little bit more power and control, or vice versa, or to be the like the one who wants to be controlled or powerized, if that makes sense. So it's like you may have shifted in who you are, and you're learning more about yourself and your own personal expression. And that's happened to me, right? It's happened to me in the past. So,
But
and
if your
then
partner doesn't evolve like that with you,
that's right. I don't know. It gets tricky, right? And then that's where tension ripples come in. So it's tricky
tricky
topics.
topic. And that would bring in
But
other topics, right?
yeah, the point of it though is like, is powerizing love, is it a bad thing? Is it a negative thing? I don't think that. I think that you can, if you're doing something healthy, how could it be?
Hmm. Especially if you both agree. To me, then that powerizes love and that empowers love.
That's right.
Well,
It empowers
powerized.
love. And you know what? That's what you and I are all about, is
Yeah.
empowerment. And not like in the like feminine empowerment only, or the other one. It's like people, humans being empowered from the heart center, right?
100%.
Yeah.
So that
So
could be controversial once more people listen to it.
yes.
That's
And
what we're
that's
about
nice.
too. If it doesn't bring you magic, don't listen to it. If it does, then do.
That's right. We don't care.
We're about raising the joy meter, and we talk about sassy, juicy things. It's not all just unicorn farts, right? So
Every time you say that, I'm like, I don't want to think of either of those two things. Well, that was fun. Bye.
Stop recording.